Join us on the program right now. Very pleased to have with us Dr. A.W.R. Hawkins from BigGovernment.com. And how you doing tonight, sir?
Doing great, Cam. Good to be with you.
It's great to have you here. You compare and contrast two big stories from the DOJ over the past, week or so, even the past 48 hours. The raid on Gibson guitars and the really, the stonewalling and the cover-up over Fast and Furious.
Oh, exactly. I mean, these two things are so ridiculous. Here you have the DOJ that knew the ATF was selling guns that were going to be smuggled across an international border and put in the hands of Mexican cartel. Eric Holder gave the April 2nd, 2009 speech about Gun Runner and everything else. I mean, that's all in the open. And yet, instead of prosecuting Fast and Furious personnel, what are we doing? We're raiding Gibson guitars because they cut down a tree in India that wasn't supposed to be cut down. Allegedly. We know they didn't really do it, but those are the charges.
Yeah, and in fact, we had the CEO of Gibson on last night, and he said, look, the wood that we believe is, the wood that the Obama administration doesn't want us to be using was actually certified by the Forest Stewardship Council. And they say the wood that was seized satisfied FSC standards. Now, allegedly, what is believed to be at issue is the position of the Obama administration that this wood, this East Indian rosewood, is not allowed to be finished by American workers. It has to be finished by workers in India. Now, this is not a U.S. law. That is that's the Obama administration's interpretation of a policy in India.
Which is absolutely ridiculous, because go back to Fast and Furious, Cam. They shattered all our laws.
Yeah.
The laws against me buying a firearm that I'm knowingly going to give to someone else, that's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
If I add to that the complication that I know that person's a criminal, the illegality has just jumped I don't know how many fences. And on and on. They will break our laws, but they feel they can enforce Indian law. But the CEO also, I'm sure you're going to point out, Madagascar has given him papers saying that the wood he has is not illegal in any form, shape, or fashion.
Yeah, absolutely right. And honestly, I've seen stories that indicate the wood in question, 95% of this goes to China. It doesn't go to the United States. You could ban the importation of this wood entirely, but you know what? If China's still getting 95% of it, that's not going to solve the problem.
Well, that's right. Well, we've banned drilling for oil off the shore of Florida, so Cuba's going after it. So, it's just someone's going to get it. It's going to happen. But the bigger issue is that we have a government that is raiding successful American businesses on a whim. And proof that it was on the whim is that they raided them in 2009. Since then, the CEO has said there's been absolute compliance, yet there have been no charges brought. They have not had their day in court. It's just a federal government flexing its muscle.
And, it was interesting when we talked with the CEO yesterday, Henry Juskowitz. I asked him if he thought that there was any political motivation behind this, given the fact that he's donated to Republican candidates in the past. His competitor, the CEO of Martin Guitars, has apparently donated to Democrats in the past. They both use the same wood, according to Mr. Juskowitz, but only one of them has been the subject of now two federal raids. And, Henry Juskowitz would not discount the idea that this was, in fact, a politically motivated action by the Obama administration.
And he's right. And you want to think your president is above being that petty, but then again, you want to think that he wouldn't get rid of some low-ranking officials in the ATF and tell us that Fast and Furious is over either. But we know that was all a scam as well, that there needs to be more prosecution there. Mm-hmm. So he is as petty as he has to be to cover his own rear in this situation.
At some point, do you think that this starts to bite the administration? I'd like to think that every gun owner in America knows about Fast and Furious by now. I may be wrong, but I'd like to think that is the case. a lot of gun owners were not going to be staunch supporters of President Obama's reelection campaign to begin with. But, there are probably a lot of guitar players out there, Dr. Hawkins, who are, left-leaning. And now all of a sudden, Obama has become quite literally the man. Keeping these manufacturers down and going after what, frankly, is a business that I'm presuming a lot of liberals are supportive of.
One of my friends from Houston called me last night, and he said, "Let's see how quick Bruce Springsteen gets on Obama here." Bruce Springsteen, the Stratocaster player.
Right.
Let's see how quick he goes after Obama on this. But we know he's not going to. They're going to continue to carry water for him, even if he confiscates their guitars and burns them. There's a sickness in that leftist ideology that just won't let go of them.
Yeah, I think you're right, especially with the celebrities. Although I think Slash has come out on Team Gibson, so we've got that going for us. But I'm just thinking of the musicians out there, who aren't famous, who just maybe are hobbyists. They're never going to be rock stars, but they enjoy playing the guitar, and all of a sudden they now see their government going after their favorite guitar manufacturer, and frankly, they should be concerned now, too, because you know what? If Gibson is selling guitars that the Obama administration believes is illegal, well, if you have an illegal guitar, guess what? You could have that guitar seized from you.
You're exactly right, and your point is well taken. There's a commonality now between them and gun owners, and we see the threat, and the threat is that if the government does not approve of our thought or of our ideology or of our behavior, there's nothing off limits. They will come take it to teach us a lesson and bring us into line.
Yep, which is why I have a feeling that issues like this are going to become more important as we get closer to the election day, because this is, again, these are the types of things that Americans see. It may not be impacting their life directly to see the Gibson Guitar Factory get raided, but as you say, if you step out of line, if you have a thought that is an unapproved thought, if you have a philosophy that is an unapproved philosophy, then you are going to get the hammer of the federal family coming down on you pretty hard. And, I think Americans are going to reject that idea.
Well, I hope they do. I do wonder, Cam, how long will it be until the Internet police that are springing up under the FCC, how long will it be till they find justification for silencing the blogger at Big Government or the blogger at Big Journalism or the blogger at NRA News? How long will it be till we start to see some of those people silenced because their words don't fit in well with what the administration wants to do?
Well, let's see what the poll numbers look like for the president along about September 2012.
I agree with you.
I think it will wait at least until September 2012. And I think if things are looking bad for the Obama administration, watch out, online media, watch out, conservatives, because I wouldn't put it past the administration to try to put up roadblocks and impediments to your First Amendment rights and to my First Amendment rights. We know they're already going after our Second Amendment rights. What's to stop them from going after our First?
Well, I agree 100%. Cam, can I ask you a question?
You bet.
Let's think about this. With the dismissal of Burke today with Fast and Furious, he was the attorney who denied Brian Terry's family the status of victims of a crime. Do you think that'll be reversed? Do you think now that the administration will reverse itself and give Brian Terry's family the benefit of being crime victims?
Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think everything that the Obama administration is doing with regards to Fast and Furious now is to sweep it under the rug, to make the story go away, to minimize it. And if you do that, if you reverse the decision of Dennis Burke, all of a sudden that becomes a newsworthy event. It also indicates that somebody in the Obama administration, even if it's somebody who's no longer in the administration, actually did something wrong. And when was the last time the Obama administration admitted something like that?
Oh, I agree, Cam. That's a great answer.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd love to see justice for the Terry family. And I'd love to see the administration actually, go back and take another look at that decision and reverse that decision. But I don't. The Obama administration would have to accept that they did something wrong, and they don't do that. They never do.
No, they don't make mistakes. That's for sure. Everyone else makes mistakes. They don't make mistakes.
The only mistakes they make are mistakes in messaging. They just don't, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only mistake that Obama's admitted to.
That's exactly right. And it's a shame because it puts us in a situation where when the American people know he's wrong, he pulls a Jimmy Carter and tries to blame it on the American people. And I just hope we will wake up on this deal.
I hope so, too. Hey, listen, I really appreciate you coming on the program tonight, Dr. Hawkins. Look forward to doing this again very soon.
Thank you, Cam. I always enjoy it.
Thank you, sir.